It's official. The stay-at-home order will be extended into June. Until then, everything will be status quo, including restrictions on outdoor activities and remote learning. But we now know when children 12 years and older will begin rolling up their sleeves.
We need to maintain the stay-at-home order and all public health measures until at least June the 2nd. If we manage the next few weeks properly, I believe that we can have things in a very good place this summer.
The Premier says we must stay the course and called the next few weeks precious in the fight against the third wave. He says schools will remain closed right now, mainly due to a lack of consensus.
We need public health doctors, teachers, and labor partners to agree on the best path forward.
But some critics wonder if students are staying home for other reasons.
The concern that I have is that the government hasn't planned for it. So to put the things in place that need to be there, because we have to do it safely. That's the most important thing.
We're going to have some more discussions, both with our public health units, with the Ministry of Education, to determine when's the best time, the right time.
In the meantime, the focus will be on vaccinating teachers and students. Starting May 31st, children 12 years and older can start booking their first Pfizer shot. As for outdoor activities, the Ford government is standing firm. Restrictions will continue on things like soccer, tennis, basketball, and golf, despite mounting pressure from mayors, medical experts, and the Ontario Science Table to open them up. The Premier is citing concerns over increased socializing.
I talk to my buddies. I know what happens. You know, they pick up another buddy, 2 or 3, they go out, go golfing, and there's nothing wrong with golfing. The problem is the mobility. Then after golf, they go back, they have a few pops. That's the problem.
This is the Premier's first public address in about 2 weeks, and he spent much of the news conference calling out the feds for a lack of border security.
We have private jets landing all over the province.
Ford says he sent 3 formal requests asking for enhanced safety measures.
Weeks have gone by, and we're just hearing crickets.
And pointed the finger several times at Prime Minister Trudeau.
There's 2 things Justin Trudeau is responsible for. 2 things only throughout this whole pandemic is to make sure we have enough vaccines and to make sure we secure the borders. And it's just not happening.
And some critics are calling this a diversion tactic.
The Premier seems to be spending 100% of his time on what science is telling us is where 2% of the outbreaks are. The Premier is using the border to deflect from his own failures.
Now, we did reach out to the federal government about the border and didn't hear back by deadline. Prime Minister Trudeau has said publicly, though, that he's frustrated the province is pointing fingers, given Canada has put in other border controls at Ontario's request. He says he is willing to work together on further ones. At Queen's Park, Shauna Hunt, City News.